anyone can change their life in 6 months. Why not you? Other people have done it. I have done it myself. So I promise you that you can. If you feel stuck or a little bit lost and you need a change, trust me, I've been there. And I promise you that you can do it in just 6 months. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how. First, we need to go back to the year 2003 when the British cycling team had David Brailsford as the performance director. And at this point, the British cycling team had suffered 100 years of mediocrity. They had just won one gold medal back in 1908 at the Olympic Games. They had never won the Tour de France, which is a premium race in cycling. So they hired David Brailsford to change that. And in fact, at the time, they were so mediocre that when they went to buy new bikes from a European manufacturer, they weren't even given codes from the manufacturer because they didn't want other teams to see British riders using their gears for fear that it would hurt sales. So when Brailsford is brought in, he's asked, what is this plan for changing this? And he says, well, I believe in this theory that I call the marginal gains theory. The way he described it is that 1% improvement in nearly everything that you do. So the team began with a couple of things that you would expect a cycling team to start with. They put slightly lighter tires on the bike. They got more ergonomic seats for the riders to sit on. And they had their outdoor riders wear indoor racing suits because they were lighter and more aerodynamic. They had each rider wear a biofeedback sensor so that they could see how they would respond to training and then adjust it appropriately for the person. But then they did something that you'd not expect a cycling team to do. So they split tested different kinds of massage gels to see which one would lead to the best muscle recovery. They taught each rider to wash their hands to reduce the risk of getting sick. They also figured out the best pillow that would lead to the best night's sleep for each rider and then brought that on the road with them to hotels and whenever they were competing. And Brailsford said that if we can implement these little 1% improvements, then I think we can win the Tour de France within 5 years. He was wrong. They won it in 2 years, repeated it the third year with a different rider, and then after a 1 year break, they won 2 more. However, this marginal gain strategy bore fruits at the Olympics in London in 2012. They won 70% of the gold medals available. How does a mediocre team transform into world champions? Through these tiny changes that seem on the surface meaningless. It is so easy to underestimate the importance of small improvements daily. Improving by 1% may seem entirely negligible at first, but over time, the effects snowball into a major change. In fact, James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, explained that if you can get 1% better every day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time the year ends. And if you get 1% worse every day for 1 year, you'll decline all the way to about 0. So in a similar way that marginal gains can accumulate, so can marginal losses. But wait a minute, how can I quantify the 1% improvement in real life? I'm glad you asked. Getting 1% better is hard to quantify in the beginning. You start by being 1% better today than you were yesterday. Then tomorrow you're up to 2%. And 1 week later, you're at 7%. It's not much, but it compounds into something significant in the long run. Becoming 1% better every day may look different for different things in your life. First, to change your life, it is important to do a life audit. You want to look at your current life intentionally. And within this life audit, evaluate how you spend your time. What does your day look like? Where are you in all areas of your life? These areas are like health, personal development, finances, and relationships. Once you have the idea of what you need to change, it can be so tempting to want to change all areas of your life. But starting with the change that will have the biggest impact on your life is much better. Here is the thing. Many of us think that we lack motivation when what we really lack is clarity. We think that we need to have the motivation and willpower to change our lives. If I just felt like working out, if I felt like working on my business, if I felt like meditating, then I would. But in fact, we don't have a plan to implement the change. We wake up every day thinking, I wonder if I'll feel like working out today, or I wonder if I'll feel like working on my business. If you rely on motivation, you will never change. Instead, you should remove the decision making by explicitly stating when, where, and how you will implement the change. Here's how I did it for my weight loss. I decided on August 29th, 2022, a Monday, that will be the first day I started my weight loss journey. And I would go to the gym 3 days a week. It didn't matter if I felt like it. It didn't matter how long or short I would be at the gym. All that mattered was that I showed up. I kept showing up, and I'm currently on my second year of my weight loss journey. I've lost 50 pounds, and I'm the fittest I've ever been. It was the habit of constantly consistency showing up that drove the growth. So you need to give your goals a space in your calendar. Now that you have a plan, you need to set yourself up for success. One of the most overlooked drivers for your habits is your physical environment. Let me tell you a quick story. So these Harvard researchers went to Massachusetts General Hospital and they had a very interesting question. They wondered if they could change people's behavior without talking to them at all. So this is a drawing of the hospital's cafeteria, drawn to scale, of course. The shaded pink areas are areas with refrigerators that had soda in them. The two black points on the side are water, and all the other tables are food in the cafeteria. Now, these researchers made a few little changes where they added water to the refrigerators that had soda. They also had rolling carts all over the cafeteria with water. The researchers discovered that after 6 months, people drank 25% more water and 11% less soda. They drank more water simply because they were presented with it. And this is what's interesting about us human beings. We want things because they are available, simply because they're in front of us at the time. To see changes in the next 6 months, you have to be the architect of your environment. You can decide to make your good behaviors easier and your bad behaviors harder. If you want to practice your guitar more frequently, put it in the middle of your living room. If you want to take more water, always have a water bottle at your work desk so that you can sip throughout the day. If you want to overcome your phone addiction, leave your phone at home or keep it in a drawer where it's out of reach. It's very hard to make changes in your life when your environment is working against you. By now, we know that we should not depend on our motivation because at some point, motivation will run out. But rather, we should rely on consistency. But how do we master consistency? When implementing changes, I highly rely on a simple strategy that I learned from the author James Clear, the 2-minute rule. Most changes you want to accomplish will take longer than 2 minutes. If you want to go on a run, you won't just do it for 2 minutes. But any habit can be started in less than 2 minutes. So for example, if you want to work on your business, you can start the habit in just 2 minutes by opening your laptop. If you want to go to the gym, you can lay out your gym outfit the previous night in just 2 minutes. Don't let fear hold you back from becoming the best version of yourself. There are many different kinds of fear, but the one that most of us struggle with is the fear of failing. What if I never reach my goals? What if I never get close to being the best version of myself? We are terrified of disappointing ourselves and we think we have to have everything figured out, and this holds us back from trying at all. We are our biggest haters and we often dismiss our goals even before we try to achieve them. But here is the truth: you will never change if you never try. Think about it this way: in 5 years, will you regret not trying or will you regret failing? See failure as a lesson. Don't let fear hold you from living, becoming the best version of yourself and fulfilling your dreams. I love this quote that says that if you're afraid to do it, then do it scared rather than not doing it at all.